morning, student. I'm going to continue the rest of the lesson, the summit within. With this lesson is written by a Major Ahluwalia, and here he is telling you about his journey to Mount Everest. How beautiful was the journey, and then he has also shared why he felt like climbing to the highest peak of the world. And after coming from the peak, also he has shared his experience with you, which I will be explaining you today. Let me give you some of the important background of this story. This, first of all, this is a true story. This is a description by Major HPS Ahluwalia. So, Major Ahluwalia was a member of the first team conquering Mount Everest in 1965. In this extract, he tells us about his feeling standing on the highest peak of the world. His first feeling was humility. He thanked God because the expedition had ended successfully. He had both happy and sad. He felt aggrieved because he had reached the summit, and after that there would be nothing higher to climb. Climbing Mount Everest gave a deep sense of joy which lasts for the lifetime. The experiences changes once completely. It was a conquest of a high mountain, but the writer felt that climbing or getting over the summit of the mind was also very difficult. So here writer is telling that not only climbing to the mountains, but children getting over the to climb over the summit of the mind is also very difficult. That means indirectly he had told, if we want to get success in our life, we have to conquer our mind first. We have to control our mind first. We have to increase our concentration power first. Then only we will get success. While climbing down from the top, he asked himself why he had chosen to climb. So when he was climbing down from Mount Everest, first of all, he thanked to God, and then he asked himself why he had chosen to climb. This achievement became a thing of the past. It would fade with the passing of time. So he told the achievement became a thing of the past. It would fade with the passing of time. He questioned himself as to why people wish to climb high mountains. The simplest answer is that it is a difficult task, and the man feels great in overcoming difficulties. Climbing a mountain is a tough task because it tests one's physical strength and willpower. The writer then proceeds to answer the personal question. Mountains had an attraction for him since his childhood. He missed them while he was away from them. Their beauty and grandeur presented a challenge. Their beauty and grandeur presented a challenge. Above all, mountains are a way to feel close to God. So, above all, mountains are a way to feel close to God. But why Everest? He chose it because it was the highest and the most challenging task. It was a hard struggle with rocks and ice. When he stood on the summit, he felt the joy of having done something great, of achieving great victory. The call of Everest draws him to it. It is difficult to tell the reason for climbing. It is like answering why one prays or why you do good acts. The success is followed by a sense of fulfillment or satisfaction. It is a proof of man's love for adventure. The experience is not just physical but spiritual. You make all your effort to go up. Breathing is difficult. There are moments when you feel like going back, but something in you checks you from giving up. When you reach the top, you tell yourself that it was a rewarding effort. Below, you see vast valleys. You bow down to God for your worship. The writer left a picture of Guru Nanak, and his companion Rawat left a picture of Goddess Durga. Even Fu Dorji left a relic of Buddha. And children, Edmund Hillary. Did you remember who is Edmund Hillary? He buried a cross. He buried the cross, children, under the rocks in the snow. These are the symbols to respect God. These are the symbol to thank God or to respect God. There is another summit to climb. This it is within yourself, your own mind. The most difficult task is to know oneself. One has to do it alone and himself. The writer experience as an Everest inspired him to face life boldly. So children, this is all the important points of the chapter. We have already discussed the word meaning, and I was doing with you the explanation part. Okay, so now we were there at page number 78. Okay, so I will be explaining you, and then we will be discussing the question and answer. Looking back, I find that so here he had reached the children. He reached the Everest, and Major H.P. Ahluwalia is describing his experience in his own word. Children, this chapter is his experience about climbing to the Mount Everest, and children, he has reached at the top, and he is describing whatever is coming to his mind in his own words. So looking back, I find that I have not yet fully explained why I climbed Everest. Now children, once again, when he was climbing down, children, he felt, you know what he felt? He felt a question from within himself, that why I climbed Everest. It is like answering a question, why you breathe. Okay, so when he told this thing, it was like answering a question, why you breathe. Why do you help your neighbor? Why do you want to do good acts? There's no final answer possible. So children, this question was so difficult to answer, like why do you help your neighbor? If somebody will ask you this question, it is very difficult for you to answer. Or why do you children, why do you breathe? Again, this is a very difficult question. Maximum people will tell, why do we breathe? Because we don't want to die. Or if we will not breathe, we will die. But then there are some other points also, so it is very difficult to answer this question accurately. Why would you want to do good act? No answer, no accurate answer. Okay, different answers will be there. So this question, children, was without any answer when he asked this question. There is no final answer possible. And then there is the fact that Everest is not just a physical climb. Now children, and then suddenly he had shared one more thing with us, that Everest is not just a physical climb. The man who has been to the mountain tops becomes conscious in a special manner. So the man who has been to the mountain top becomes conscious in a special manner of his own smallness in this large universe. So he had the man, children, who climbed, okay, who climbed the mountains. He become special in his own manner, smallness in this large universe. The physical conscience of a mountain is only one part of the achievement. So he is telling the physical conquest of a mountain is only one part of the achievement. There is more to it than that. Now children, he is telling the exertion, children, which he had taken for climbing the mountain. That is the physical exertion. That is only a part. In fact, he wanted to tell you some other thing also related with this lesson. So he want to tell that the physical conquest means to get victory. So he conquested. Why children, this line has been told, he conquest the mountain? Because children, lot of physical exertion, tiredness, the person feel exhausted when he had to climb the mountain. So he is telling the physical conquest of a mountain is only one part of the achievement. There is more to it than that. So there is more to it than that. It is followed by a sense of fulfillment. And it is followed by a sense of fulfillment. There is the satisfaction of a deep urge to rise above one's surrounding. There is the satisfaction of a deep urge to rise above one's surrounding. It is the eternal love for adventure of man. So children, climbing the mountain, it also shows that it is a eternal love for mountains. Children, it is a eternal love for nature. Like children, he had already shared that when he was in that APJ Ahluwalia, he used to live near the mountains. But whenever his father was in a transfer job, When he used to leave that place, when he used to go away from the mountain, what he used to feel? He used to feel that something is missing from his life. Something is missing from his life. So he used to feel bad. Okay. So it is the eternal love for adventure in man. The experience is not mere physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. Consider a typical climb towards the summit on the last height. If the experience is not merely physical, it is emotional and spiritual. Now children, he is telling, when the person will climb on the mountain, that not only will be a spiritual love, but it will be a emotional love also. Consider a typical climbing towards the summit on the last height. Now children, he is telling he also became very emotional. He also became very what to say, he also became very emotional. He also became very children spiritual when he climbed over the mountains. Consider a typical climb towards the summit on the last height. So he's telling, consider a typical climb towards the summit on the last heights. You are sharing a rope with another climber. You form in. He cuts the step in the hard ice, then he belays and you inch your way up. So he is telling, it's a very typical climbing. He is sharing that towards the summit. When you climb on the last height, you are sharing a rope with another climber. That means you have to share a rope with another climber, and you form it. He cuts the step in the hard ice, then he belays and you inch your way up. So children, when the last climber will take his step, then only you will go forward, one step ahead, an inch your way up. The climb is famous. Climbers have left records of the help given by other. You strain every nerve as you take every step. So he is telling you, strain every nerve as you take every step. Famous climbers have left record of the help given by others. They have also recorded how they needed just that help, as they might have given up. So children, it is so tough that people might have given up, but children, he is a man of patience. He is a man who has conquered his mind also, and the others also. So then only they are reaching towards the summit of the mountain. Breathing is very difficult. Now children, the other problem comes when the people breathe. It's very difficult to breathe on the mountains. A person has to carry an oxygen cylinder, okay, along with other things, and you know that climbing is very hard there. As they might have given up, breathing is difficult. You curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. Now children, uh, when people find it difficult to breathe, then lot of children, they suffered from headache, then they suffered from dizziness. So a thought comes in their mind that why they have chosen a difficult job like climbing on the Everest. So this type of feeling also comes when the person doesn't feel well. Then you curse yourself for having let yourself in for this. You wonder why you ever undertook the ascent, and now children, you will feel that why you have decided to climb on the mountains. You will feel very bad. There are moments when you feel like going back. Now he's telling, there are moments when you feel like going back. It would be sheer relief to go down, okay. And children, there will be certain moments when you are ill or when you are not well, you feel like going back once again to your place instead of up. But almost at once you snap out of that mood, there is something in you that does not let you give up. But children, when you wanted to that return or wanted to go back, then something will overcome your mind. Okay, your snap, something will snap your mood out of that mood. There is something in you that does not let you give up the struggle, and one feeling will be there at one time that why I have climbed till here, why should I return back now? So children, you have struggled so much and you have reached that height, so why should I once again go back? Okay, so often this time of feeling is seen with the mountain climbers, and then again children, you will go on. Your companions keep with up with you, and children, at the same time children, your companion will be there with you just another 50 feet or 100 maybe. And children, you will be boosting yourself up by telling, oh, it's only 50 feet up, or it's only 100 feet up, my destination will be very soon, I will be reaching my destination point. So in this way you will be taking one step ahead and reaching your goal. Is there no end? No. Hmm. Children, you will ask several times yourself, is there no end of this journey? You look at your companion and he looks at you. Children, you will look at your companion and your companion will look at you. You draw inspiration from each other, and then without first being aware of it, you are at the summit. And children, then you are at the summit. Looking around from the summit, you tell yourself that it was worthwhile. And children, when you will reach there, what you will say, it is worthwhile. When you will reach your destination, what you will say, it is worthwhile. Other silvery peaks appear through the clouds. Lot of beautiful silvery peaks. You can see peaks of the other smaller mountain which are under the Everest, and that beautiful scenery is looking worthwhile. Other silvery peaks appear through the clouds, and sometimes children, silvery peaks, they will be peeping through the cloud. That is more beautiful scene. If you are lucky, the sun may be on them, and children, if you are sometime lucky, the sun will shine on that peak. The sun rays will fall, and that peak, the surrounding peaks look like a jeweled necklace around the neck of your surrounding. And children, that will be look what he has told. See the beautiful line discussed by the writer. He is telling that surrounding peak look like a jeweled necklace around the neck of your summit. The surrounding peaks look like a jeweled necklace around the neck of your summit. Below you are vast valley sloping into the distance. And children, you are vast valley sloping into the distance. It is hopping, enriching experience to just look down from the summit of a mountain. And children, when you will look down, beautiful vast valley slope will look into the distance, and children, you will feel that the sunrise will fall on those peaks of the mountain as if beautiful jewelry is there on the neck of the Mount Everest. So it is, children, enriching experience to just look down from the summit of a mountain. You bow down and make our obeisances to whichever God you worship. And children, when you will look down, that means he is comparing this to the God. Which God? Any God which you have faith, you are going in front of the God to tell him your thankfulness. I left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak. Now children, writer is telling something about himself. He is telling he had left a picture of Guru Nanak. Rawat left a picture of Goddess Durga. Rawat, he had left a picture of Goddess Durga. Fu Dorji left a relic of the Buddha. Fu Dorji, he had left a relic of Lord Buddha. And children, did you remember Edmund Hillary? He had buried a cross um, under a heap of rock and stone in the snow. These are not symbol of conquest but of reverence. Now children, he is telling people are keeping these things, so this is not a symbol of conquest, but this is a reverent show to the God. Everybody from Edmund Hillary to Fu Darji, then Nan Rawat was with him, and writer himself, they all were thankful to God and they revered God in this manner. The experience of having climbed to the summit changed you completely. Now children, he is sharing the most beautiful moment of his life, the moment when he climbed upon the summit of the Mount Everest. He had conquered Mount Everest. He had climbed the world highest peak. There is another summit. It is within yourself. It is in your mind. So he is telling another summit is there. There is another summit. It is within yourself. It is in your mind. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peak. He must climb it to reach to a fuller knowledge of himself. He must climb to it to reach to a fuller knowledge of himself. It is fearful and unscalable. Scalable. So he is telling that each person, children, it is in your mind. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peak. He must climb it to reach to a fuller knowledge of himself. It is fearful and unscalable. It cannot be climbed by anyone else. You yourself have to do it. The physical act of climbing to the summit of a mountain outside is akin to the act of climbing the mountain within. Now children, you have climbed. He is telling that he had climbed to the mountain, highest mountain peak. Children, this he is telling, this is just akin, all right. He is telling this is just like climbing. You have conquered yourself. You have conquered your mind. All right. So he is telling he had experienced a beautiful feeling. And what is that feeling? He had experienced that he had conquered his own mind. The effects of both the climbs are the same. He is telling the effects of both the climb. What are both the climb here? To conquer the summit and to conquer one mind. So he's telling both the feeling are equally great. Okay, and you will feel wonderful when you will, children, get success. Whether the mountains you climb is physical or emotional and spiritual. But if you will climb your mind, then you will feel that you are emotionally and spiritually very higher than other people. The climb will certainly change you. It teaches you much about the world and about yourself. So children, the climb will certainly change you. It teaches you much about the world and about yourself. I venture to think that my experience as an Everest has provided me with the inspiration to face life ordeal resolutely. Now children, he is telling I venture. Venture means I dare. He is telling he has dared to think that my experience as an Everestie means the person who has climbed the mountain. He is known as Everestie, has provided me with the inspiration to face life ordeals resolutely. So ordeals means painful experiences and resolutely means with determination or firmness. Now children, when he climbed the mountains, Mount Everest, he also felt that he has learned to, children, face the painful experiences boldly, with lot of children, boldly and with firmness. Climbing the mountain was a worthwhile experience. Now he is telling that experience, how to climb was Mount Everest, was worthwhile. The conquest of the internal summit equally worthwhile. But children, when you will conquer your internal summit, your internal mind, that is more worthwhile. The internal summits are perhaps higher than Everest. Now he is telling the internal summits are higher than Everest. Okay, to conquer your mind is one of the greatest thing. To have control of your mind is the one of the greatest thing. So with this, I complete the lesson, and now I will be doing, children, with the this question and answer. So comprehension check. Standing on Everest, the writer was, children, what was it? Overjoyed, very sad, jubilant and sad. So I think this is the third point. He was jubilant, that means he was very happy, as well as he was very sad. The emotion that gripped him was one of the victory over hurdles, humility and sense of smallness, greatness and self-importance, or joy of discovery. So it is, the answer is children, humility and a sense of smallness. Now choose the right item. The summit of the mind refers to, there are 6 options are there. Great intellectual achievements, the process of maturing mentally and spiritually, overcoming person, ambition for common welfare, living the word of thought and imagination, the triumph of mind over worldly pleasure for a noble cause, a fuller knowledge of oneself. Okay, so it is a fuller knowledge of oneself. Then answer the following question. What are the 3 qualities that played a major role in the author's climb? The 3 qualities that ensured the success of the author were endurance, persistence, and his willpower. Why is adventure, which is risky, also pleasurable? Mountains climbing is a great adventure, but it is also risky. It is a great challenge, and doing a challenging job is in itself pleasurable. It gives immense joy to the doers. Now, what was it about Mount Everest that the author found irresistible? Mount Everest attracted the author because it is the highest, the mightiest, and has defied many previous attempts. It takes the last ounce of one's energy. One does not do it for fame alone. What does one do it for really? So, conquesting summit is a great physical achievement, but more than that, it gives the climber the emotional and spiritual satisfaction. It satisfies man's eternal love for adventure. He becomes conscious in a special manner of his own smallness in this large universe. This awareness defines an emotion mentioned in the first paragraph. So, student, here what you have to write, which is the emotion? The emotion is of humility. Now, what were the symbols of reverence left by members of the team on Mount Everest? The author left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak. Rawat left a picture of Goddess Durga. Fu Dorgi left a relic of the Buddha. Edmund Hillary, being a Christian, buried a cross under the rock. All these were symbol of reference to God. What, according to the writer, did his experience as an Everest teach him? The experience of having conquered Mountain Everest changed him completely. It made him realize his own smallness. Write a sentence against each of the following statement. Your sentence should explain the statement. You can pick out sentence from the text and rewrite them. So the first one is already done, but I am going to read it. The experience changes you completely. One who has been to the mountain is never the same again. Now children, the second one is man take delight in overcoming obstacle. So the obstacle in climbing a mountain are physical. A climb to a summit is a test of endurance and willpower. It is a challenge that is difficult to resist. Everest is the highest and the mightiest and has defied many previous attempts. When the summit, now children, 4, the going was difficult but the after effects were satisfying. So here, when the summit is climbed, there is the joy of having done something. One has the feeling of victory and happiness. And then the last one, the physical conquest of a mountain is really a spiritual experience. Mountains are a means of communion with God. Now, so children, these are the question answer. Then write the noun form of the following word like endure is endurance, persistence, significance, confide is confidence, maintain is maintenance, and abhor is abhorrence. Okay. Now some of the word meaning from A to B, like remote, far away from, means, method, dominant, most prominent, formidable is difficult to overcome, overwhelmed, to overcome or overpower. Now children, a beautiful writing section is, good writing section is, you have to write the composition. Mountains are a means of communion with God. Okay. So this you have to do it by yourself. Then children, so many, what you know about HPS Ahluwalia, some of the question can come about relating with the writer also, like he was Major HPS Ahluwalia was a member of the first successful Indian expedition to Mount Everest in 1965. So all this type of question, small question can come. And with this I end my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Good day.